What's up, everybody? This is Rowdy Alternative, and today we're here with Steven Contreras, better known as Scoob. Probably one of the most notable, if I do say so myself, photographers, etc., etc. We're going to get into it in the Texas red dirt scene. What's up, Scoob? How you been?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. You been staying busy out there?
Dude, it's been crazy. It's been actually crazy. We've been really busy, just out of state and new stuff happening. But yeah, what about you? You busy around there?
No, not really.
No?
This is like my main focus recently, to be honest, besides work. But yeah, man, let's jump right into it. I did an article on you. That's probably a year ago now. I think it's been a while.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I basically want to just go through a lot of that stuff again and just go more in depth, and we'll just, shoot the shit as we go.
Yeah.
I'm more conversation.
Glad to see that you started this thing up. We've been talking about it for a while. Or I know you were talking about it.
I know. Every time, like, you were the first person to want to do it. Because it was kind of an idea at first. I'm like, this would be fun to do. And you're like, dude, let's do it.
Dude, so, I'm a big Joe Rogan guy, so I'm like, I want to go. I think, put me on, Joe.
Yeah. I wouldn't put myself on that platform, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I guess let's start out with the basics, man. I guess first we'll talk about your photography. So how'd you first get into that? Like, when did it all start? What motivated you to do it?
Man, it kind of came out of nowhere, really. Like, growing up, I didn't just like always have a camera around, or, I wasn't always into photography. Like, I appreciated it when I saw a cool photo and stuff like that. But it kind of just hit me way later in life. Like, David, who does a lot of stuff with us, David, he was like the first one who like had a camera, and he was doing video stuff. And he, every now and then he'd be like, here, why don't you, you take some photos or something. And just randomly was like, man, I kind of like this. Like, I see like the creative side that I didn't really, I don't know. I just never got into it. So I didn't even know. So once I was in, it was just like, him putting me on. And then I got a little, beginner camera and just got hooked to it. Super hooked.
So was David like, are there any, like, I guess you could call them inspirations, but like, was there anyone you like looked to who like mentored you or helped you out?
David, I mean, he mentored me pretty much, like initially, just because he had a camera, he knew all the things, like, these are the settings you should use, these lenses, whatever, and then he kind of just like, I just kind of went on my own, figured it out, didn't really know what I was doing until I got to where I was like, I think this is, I think this is cool. People might think this is cool, but
I certainly think it's cool. So, who was the first? Well, did you first start out shooting for like bands or at concerts, or was there something before that you did?
No, actually, it was straight into bands, and surprisingly, it was the first person was Read. Like, that was the first band like that I worked for, or that I like did something for. It wasn't even like I was working for them for that moment, but yeah.
So I guess with Read, how did that go? Like, that meeting or whatever it was when you first started, how'd that all pan out?
Well, actually, another David shout out. He was going to this show. He was staying with me at my apartment in Dallas, and he was going to this show, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to go take some pictures for this band, blah, blah, blah. If you want to come hang, whatever, like, I got another camera, you can like mess around. And, we went, and it was Read, and we just met all that day in Fort Worth and kind of, shot the show, hung out a little bit. And then afterwards, I think maybe a couple weeks passed by, I was like, let's go back out. I was trying to go back out on the road with them, or, see where they were playing so that I could go. And it just, I just started and then never stopped, really.
So was it like, did you ask them to go like on the road with them, or was it vice versa? How'd that work?
Yeah, well, I was just like going for the hangs, really, and to just like learn more. I wasn't even like getting paid at first or anything like that. I was doing it just straight to, get better and get some experience. And through that, it just continued to where like I was with them no matter what, or I was with David. We would go, you know, just tear up the road before we were actually even riding with him or like, you know, doing anything like that.
How long ago was that now? Like what year? You
Going
remember?
on 5 years, about to be 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Since I first like did anything with them. Yeah.
Did you click pretty quick with them, or was it tough to be
Oh,
around
yeah.
like a new group of people?
No, I think that's what it was. It was like we all clicked, you know, we became really good friends like outside of it, other than like work stuff or like photography or anything like that. It was just we all clicked, everybody was cool, and you know, to this day like became like friends that I didn't even know I was going to have, you know, but like really close friends. So
when you go on the road with them, your first time on the road with them, like, was that a big like culture shock?
oh,
Like, I mean,
dude.
because that has to be crazy.
Yeah.
Are there any like stories or anything from that are pretty
just
wicked?
like initially, they were going on like a 2-week run, their first like East Coast tour, first time going to New York, first time doing a lot of, you know, like a lot of stuff that way, deep like East Coast tour. And I knew that it was coming up, but I was still working a regular job. You know, I had been going out on the weekends, you know, maybe calling off one day to get an extra day so that I could go out on the road. But this is just like when we're riding, you know, like we're meeting them. But so I had like this 2 weeks notice of that it was going to happen, but I'm still at my job and I'm like, man, I don't know, you know, like if I don't go, you know, I kind of felt like if I don't go, I might be missing out on an opportunity.
Yeah.
So they came up, you know, a couple days before I just quit my job. Never went back, went on the road with them. And, yeah, the rest is history, kind of.
Well, I mean, that's a big step. I mean, you're going into this thing you don't know about how it could turn out. Like, I can't imagine that.
Had no idea. You know,
Yeah.
it could have lasted those 2 weeks and that been it, you know, like, oh, you know, thanks for coming, whatever. And, you know, I didn't even know if I was going to get paid or not, you know, I just wanted to go, like, just be there, do the thing, you know, like take a good, like, major step.
Right. And you said 5 years ago, right? So what did Reed have out at that point? Was that still Borrowed Time?
Borrowed Time. I think the live record had just come out.
Okay.
And, so they were just, you know, that
like
had just dropped. So it was kind of the middle stages.
Okay. So they're still relatively new. So you're like,
Yeah.
so I get how that could be really a crazy thing to decide on the spot, leaving a job. But
yeah.
it worked out. It worked out.
No, it worked out. I hated my old job. So,
so photographers, that's your main thing you do. But I've also come to learn that you pretty much do everything creatively. Like, you're creative director, correct?
Yeah, that's what I would like to, you know, label it. Maybe it's not that, but it is, you know, that's how I look at it, you know?
Yeah, because I've seen, like, I'd like for you to talk about it a little, but I've seen you, like, you design, like, the little posters. Like, you post up, here's the next tour dates.
Yeah, I do a lot of graphics.
Stuff.
I do a lot of graphic stuff for our social media and work alongside our, like, management group to, like, come up with ideas, you know, and, you know, they might be like, oh, we need something for these, or you got anything cool, you know, for these shows or whatever. So yeah, graphics, like, really, that was another thing that kind of came out of nowhere, but I was also into that before I started. So it just kind of all meshed, like, weirdly. It just weirdly all came together to where it was like, oh, I love Photoshop. Let's, let me make something, you know? And so, yeah, but it's not all me. I don't want to take all the credit. We have John. He does a lot of posters. He's our guitar player. He's been, like, doing a lot more art stuff. And he's really diving in and taking off. Like, he's, I don't know, he's been killing it.
Yeah, I saw something he put up recently. I can't remember what it was, but it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was something you came up with at first, and it ended up coming from him. When did he get into all that? If you know.
I don't really know. I feel like we're getting closer to a year maybe that he like started drawing. I feel like he's always been doing like creative stuff anyways, drawing and stuff like that. But before he like actually was like, oh, I want to make something for bands or whoever, hit me up. Yeah, not too long. He's still new into it, but I mean, he's taken off with it.
Yeah, it's some damn good stuff.
Yeah.
So do you do merch too, like designs for merch and all that, or
no? I mean, that would be cool, but no. Other people do that. It's a mixture. It's a lot to just do what I'm doing too,
Yeah. It's hard to like think about, and I've just recently been like discovering how big of a project it is. Like, it's not just the band controlling all this stuff. Yeah, like you and you're talking about your management group, like so many pieces.
It's come a long way, because it used to just be like us like sitting around like, oh, what's cool, or what do you think would be cool on a poster, or what are we gonna do, blah blah blah. And so it's grown a lot, and it's cool to have so many creative people like in one space, all working around like the same idea. It makes it easier for me when you have like so much to take in from people, so many ideas, and it's like, oh, I got it,
Yeah. So I've seen you shoot for Austin. I've seen you shoot for him a few times, Austin Mead. Do you is that like kind of like your off time thing to do? Like, do you like try to find gigs to go to, or?
Yeah. I'm not just like out taking gigs, like I'm not just like very open, but when I do have off time, sometimes I don't want to like be out on the road, or
Understandable.
that is the off time actually. So I don't. But if it is like Austin, like I'll go out with him. I have another buddy, Carson Jeffrey, who is pretty much from 20 minutes down the road. So if he's got anything going on, sometimes I'll go with him. But we're just so busy that I don't really have the time.
Right. Like some of the dates for Reed, like it's really cool seeing him. Like I saw him out in Indy. It was cool seeing him like over here. I know he came to like in the past, he's come to like in Tennessee. I think he went to like Memphis and of course probably Nashville. But it's cool seeing him going like more and more places. But you were talking about you're not open to everybody. So as like this being your profession, is there like a process? Like if someone will come up and say, "Hey, Scoob, do you want to shoot for this?" Without, if you don't want to be controversial, you could say whatever. But is there like a certain like selective process for that?
I wouldn't think it's a selective process. It's more of like, I'm not just going to turn anybody down, but I'm also like not reaching out to people that I like, that I would listen to and that I think need some help, or that could use my help, or just somebody that I'm like, oh, I just want to shoot for this band. Like even outside of this scene, that's like what I would like to say. It's not just like, oh, don't hit me up in the scene, but there's just other bands. There's just other bands in other genres that I would like to, do when I am off. That would be cool, to like shoot for a hardcore band, or shoot for another band that I like, or like a rap show or something like that. Like just to branch out a bit.
Who comes to mind when you think of like someone outside of like your little niche, like hardcore or rap? Like who are some people you'd like to shoot for or have shot for?
Haven't, but I would love to shoot for Turnstile. I'm addicted to Turnstile right now.
I've seen your posts and everything. You seem super into it.
Yeah. They're crazy, dude. I saw them live and I was like, man, I wish I was, but just didn't happen. But I mean, bands in that scene would be cool. I don't know. There's a mixture of people that I would like to shoot for.
Yeah. So Turnstile, I'm not very familiar with them. What like kind of music is that? If you could,
Hardcore.
hardcore. Okay.
It's hardcore. It's hardcore based. Yeah, pretty much. Stems
Yeah.
from hardcore, but their new album is it's such a mix. It has like this disco feel and like this poppy style to it, but it's still hardcore, just a mesh, you know? But they do it so perfect to where it's just like the blending of the styles. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I was just thinking of that recently. Like a lot of these metal bands they really know how to fuse together that pop sound
Yeah.
without sounding too like over the top with it.
Without
Like,
getting away. Yeah.
yeah, and you'd probably know more than me because this certain subgenre of metal I'm not super into, but I want to say, who sang that Zombified song? It's like new. Is it, that's killing me. I can't remember. I want to say it's either like Falling in Reverse. No, I don't know. It's,
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's like those kind of bands. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never got too into those. Unfortunately, I'm old school with my metal.
Yeah, yeah. I never got too metal. I didn't dive in too metal. Kind of stops really at what they would call hardcore, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of bands that I didn't get into because it's just, I don't know, the heavier side just never caught on with me, I guess.
You got to have some melody in there, not just the
Yeah,
Cookie
I need
Monster.
the melody. Yeah, I need the melody. I don't need straight screams.
All right. Charlie just told me it is Falling in Reverse. I think that's what I
Falling
said.
in Reverse.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you're really into rap, aren't you?
Yes.
I saw
am.
your I saw you like you put something up with your vinyl collection, I think. And didn't you have like a Kendrick album or something?
Yeah, dude, I love, huge Kendrick fan. But yeah, I have a signed Kendrick Damn record. It's like an exclusive drop like when it first came out. And you had to like, it was like you had to be there, had to buy it then, and yeah, it went away super quick. But yeah, that might be one of my coolest ones in my rap like category.
Okay, let's talk vinyl. You want to talk vinyl?
Let's talk vinyl. I love vinyl.
All right. What if you could think of 3 off the top of your head that you're proudest of having, whether they're limited edition or you just like having it? What would that be?
Okay, my Led Zeppelin collection.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty proud of those. Also took me a long time to get all of them.
You got all of them?
I have, well, not all of them, but I have all 4, the first 4.
Okay,
which
yeah.
Just to like, you know, in that part of their thing, the 1, 2, 3, 4, before they started doing other things, you know.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes, the beginning.
Yeah.
But getting those all first edition was a struggle. Like all original. They're not all mint, but just finding the ones that even aren't mint is like hard enough. Especially original. But I would say Led Zeppelin. I have some Rolling Stone stuff that's cool. The limited edition Kendrick is up there. Way up there. Also signed, so it takes a big jump.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you got? What are you working with? I got some bangers in there hidden. I can't think of them right now though.
That's all right. Well, I tried not to catch the vinyl bug because I know it's just like I tried not to, and they opened a record store down the street, and I went into the like little used section where they're all like $1, $2 a pop.
Yeah.
And I ended up leaving there spending like $20 and just had a handful. But I'd say the coolest one I got, it wasn't a first pressing, it was like a second pressing of Abbey Road.
Oh, nice.
So that was really cool to get. Really cool. I'm afraid to play it sometimes.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's where it comes to. Like I've played those Zeppelin ones a couple times just to, I had to do it. They were already open anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Had to do it. I can't
blame you.
not just spinning them every day, not just playing them every day. But the Abbey Road I have on my radar. I've got some Beatles stuff, not a whole lot, but I try to shoot for the first pressings, you know?
Yeah. So you're like a collector.
Yeah. I would like
you
to,
don't
if
just
I'm going to
buy
go,
'em.
yeah, if I'm going to go and collect it, like I would like to have the one, you know, the original one, blah, blah, blah. Whether it's mint or not, like I would love a mint one, but also if it's in good condition, like let's save it.
Yeah, definitely. But like, I sometimes like the cool. Like I also have not all the Van Halen, but I have. I think Van Halen 1. I got 1984, but like that one's held together with literal like masking tape. So, but it's like I gotta get it. Like if it plays, it plays. I don't care what it's held together with.
Yeah, you'll find those. Finding ones with good covers is like another hard thing to do, just because that's what wears down over the years, and people messing with it, kids opening it, bite marks on it. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, and you get like the ones from like if you get like one from the 70s or 80s, for some reason, I don't know what's up with these old people, but I guess back in the day they all decided to like scribble their name on it. I don't know if you've seen them before. What's that all about?
What is that? What is that?
I don't know. It's like
why is that a thing?
It's like you see it. Like I have a you know the Grassroots old 60s psychedelic band.
Yeah,
I have one of theirs, and it was signed in like 4 places. I'm thinking, is this signed by the band and it's only $2? And maybe it like slipped through the cracks. No, it wasn't. It's just like a whole bunch of kids probably from then just started writing their name on it. It's like I don't understand. They do the same with baseball cards. I don't get it.
Oh, dude, don't write your name on anything. No. Like why? Why are you writing your name on it?
Yeah,
especially like on the front cover, just like 2 or not even 2. It's just like their name written on there.
Like right across Paul McCartney's face. I'm just gonna scribble my name real quick.
Yeah, right over.
Yeah, I got the Read Southall vinyl in the mail.
Did you? Which one did you get?
So I pre-ordered the when you first put the pre-order out. Yeah, I got that one, and it was before I found out that there were signed editions that were coming out. So it's like I do want to get one of those, but I'm also kind of poor right now. But no, it's really cool. Like the yellow finish on it, all the artwork inside, like it was great.
Dude, I love it. We've been wanting it for so long, just vinyl in general, just to have, but to have the new album like on vinyl is really cool.
Yeah. Is that, do you know anything about like that process it was like getting the vinyl in? Like,
I feel like it was kind of a hard process. I think there was like a wait time. Maybe it wasn't like that it was hard to do. It was just there was some kind of delay, you know, like getting it. Because I even noticed that with going back to Kendrick Lamar. He just put out an album, and you're expecting to like see, you know, the release day stuff. You know, it's like, oh, here's the vinyl, here's the merch, here's all this that goes with the album, and no vinyl. For like the first, I think it's been a month? I think it's been maybe 1 month since it came out.
Yeah.
And they just put out the vinyl like yesterday.
Really?
So, yeah.
That's maybe they like want to see how the music sells before they, but I mean, he's also a millionaire. Yeah. So like, does he really care?
You know, everybody's going to listen to it. So it's like, I don't know.
He's like one of the greatest of our generation. Like, yeah.
He kind of had me scared. I was waiting patiently, but I was also like, are they just not? What if they just don't? You know?
Yeah, like I'm a Limp Bizkit fan. That's kind of rare to hear nowadays, but they put their album out. I think it was last October, and me and you were both into like the physical copy stuff. Like we like having a physical. Yeah. And they didn't put not even a CD. No vinyl, like put a cassette out. That'd be cool from Limp Bizkit. Put like a cassette tape out.
Yeah.
But they didn't put nothing out on that. It bugs me, but
I've been trying to dive into cassettes too. Speaking of cassettes, they're in arm's reach. Let me just show you some shit.
Show them off.
Let's get the there's
best
a glare.
Best album by Santana.
Best album. Also have it on vinyl.
You have
saw
that
it
on
just
vinyl?
yes, first press
It-
on vinyl.
that's the one with Soul Survivor. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I believe so.
The-
It's the one. It's the one to
Okay.
have.
Yeah, that's his best
Yeah.
album. I think. I think
Yeah,
that
the
was
first one. Look, the artwork is just crazy. Look at the artwork.
Yeah, and
The
that
artwork
was.
alone.
I think that was around Woodstock. So he played a lot of those songs at Woodstock, and there's
Yes.
crazy footage of him at
Dude,
Woodstock.
I love that video. Have you ever watched that documentary?
Which one? Is it
The
like
Woodstock documentary.
like the main? Yeah, I've seen it. I think it was on Netflix.
Yeah, or it's the one where there's just like cameras everywhere.
Yeah,
like
they have-
it's dude. For them to have done that and like thought that far ahead, like we have to make a documentary is insane.
It is insane, and it's like there will never be anything like that again. Like
No,
they've
And
tried
it's the time period. It's the time period though too. It's like you could do it again. Yeah, you could probably do it again. Let's throw a festival. Let's throw a festival and have everybody come and let's make it huge. But it's just like the time period and everything that was going on,
Yeah,
plus just how people were and how the world was are just so different. Like
it was like
everybody just laying out in the grass, no phones, like
Just smoking.
zero cares,
tripping.
chiefing blunts.
Yeah, it was like, and like the talent, just the talent that came from that. It's like
oh my god, the
you had-
lineup.
the lineup. Like you had, of course, like you got the big ones like Hendrix, Santana, but like you also had like Canned Heat. I love Canned Heat. I don't know
Yes.
if you amazing.
Yeah. They
Like,
have the one song that I never know the name of it. but
Going Up the
it's-
Country.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're killer. They're killer.
They're killer.
But yeah, you'll never. I don't. You can see it again, but it's just like you got to have the talent there, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it was all about money back then or what, because I think they might have ended up at a loss in that whole thing because there was so much that went wrong.
I think that's what it was. I think that's how they like ended it right. It was like we ended up making nothing or just lost money.
Yeah, and there
But-
was. I think they got sued up the ass like like so many
For
times.
everything that happened.
Yeah, like people died.
yeah. Babies were born.
Babies were born. People were getting
Babies were born.
ran over
People
with
are
a tractor.
high. Yeah. Like what?
It's crazy. But they did try to do it again, Woodstock 99. And
99
is even though that ended in an absolute tragedy,
in chaos, tragedy.
I think I would still love to go back in time and see that.
Oh, dude, I would love to go back. I
Yeah.
would love to go back and just experience whatever was going on there.
Yeah. Are you in
Just like what were y'all doing? Like what were y'all talking about? What was up? What were you even thinking about what was happening is what I want to know.
like yeah, like what were you worried about? Like right now we're worried about like gas prices,
Yeah.
Ukraine. What were they worried about back then? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's
well,
when you think about that, that's just nuts.
and it's also like what were they actually into? Like were people so psyched about this lineup or were people there for certain people? Like it was legendary to us looking back, but like did anybody even care really? Or did they know that, oh yeah, it's
Like this is special.
yeah, because it's like people going to a festival now, like most people are like, oh, I want to see these people.
Mhm.
And then there's all these other people that could be super good that they're like, oh, I don't know them. I don't listen to them or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And sometimes the best part of festivals all the time is discovering these new bands that you never would have heard.
yeah.
Like, do you go to a lot of festivals or did you ever try to make it out to any or
I haven't done like the festival thing, like on a major, like a major rap or like a major pop festival or anything like that. Just no,
okay.
haven't got to it yet.
Right. There's a lot out there in Texas, man, in Oklahoma, around that area.
Yeah, I mean our like scene stuff, those festivals, LJT and Calf Fry, stuff like that. Coke Fest was really
Yeah.
cool. Turnout there was crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah, and other scenes like I haven't really done it yet, but I'd love to. I'd love to go to Coachella if it wasn't $1 million to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Do you the first time I saw Reed was at, it wasn't even a festival. It was like a rodeo. It was called Cavalcade. And it was out in, I think you say you started 5 years ago. Shit. I don't even know if you're probably.
I don't think I was.
No? Yeah, it was out in Pawhuska. You know, that's a small town. Yeah.
I don't think I've been there.
But yeah, I mean, I hardly remember it. I just remember seeing his blonde hair bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
You know,
Where was it?
it was in, I always mispronounce it because I'm from Kentucky, but it's like Pawhuska.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, and then
No, I don't think I was in there yet.
I saw him at Calf Fry though, in 2019, 2018, 2019, one of those, but
Yeah.
crazy. It was crazy. Fun time.
Yeah. That festival gets wild. I'm sure I didn't do LJT this year. We didn't play, but I don't know how that one is still going, but those are both usually just the wildest ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Firewater Festival is coming up in
Yes.
September, I believe.
Dude, pumped for that.
Dude, I might have to go to that one. That's like,
I mean, that's if you're gonna make any one, I would definitely come to that one.
yeah, because can't you like camp there and like it's
It's like a huge. I think we didn't do the last one, but I mean, I saw the stuff about it. You know, their posts and stuff. Sorry, I
go
have
ahead.
my computer
You're
right here.
fine.
I'm trying to check it out. But yeah, you can like camp out. There's like little lakes and stuff around. I think they have a couple different stages set up, so stuff's going on all the time. I think.
Yeah, because it's Whiskey Myers Festival that I was.
Yeah, it's their own festival, but they're throwing it out of state, which is it's different. But I love that. You know? Like go do it somewhere else that's cool. You know, that's sick.
Yeah, and I think it was Aaron, Austin's drummer. I was talking to Aaron, and he said that they pick each artist individually, like the guys in the band. So that has to be pretty cool. That you guys are picked for that. So that's pretty crazy,
dude. Yeah, I'm pumped. That lineup is really cool too.
Yeah, it has.
You get to do with them. Blackberry Smoke, which we've been doing a lot of stuff with recently. They're super killer. And also Austin coming out. I think that's cool.
Them Dirty Roses too, right?
Them Dirty Roses, Quaker City Nighthawks, the Georgia Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Goodbye June.
God,
yeah,
I might have to go to that one.
It's stacked.
Yeah. How was the that livestock festival out here in Kentucky?
Livestock festival.
I think that's what they call
was
it.
That,
it was with
was that last weekend?
Yeah. With in Sharpsburg. I think it was called Sharpsburg, Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
How'd that all pan out? Was it a good time?
It was really cool actually. The place, you're just like out on a ranch kind of, or is what they were telling me. There was like this used to be like a big ranch or whatever back in the day. And I guess there's a bunch of land there still just open. And they built this giant stage, this cool like complex. It's like in these rolling hills. I mean, they picked a perfect spot for it.
Yeah, because Sharpsburg,
How far is that from you?
So yeah, that's like 2.5 to 3 hours. But funny thing is that, not funny, I'm actually really salty about it. But I was literally planning on going to that, and I thought it was this coming week. So
oh no,
I was like, I went on to look for the like tickets and everything.
Pulled one of those.
Yeah, and I went to look at the tickets the night you were playing. Like,
yeah.
But oh well. I'll see you guys.
No, it was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool. A lot of cool bands, a lot of rock and roll like bands played, which is a new thing, but a cool thing to like be mixed in with. You know, playing with Blackberry and playing with these more rock and roll bands. It's just cool to see how everybody's like mixing, and even people that like I didn't know, but like you hear them and it's like, dude, these guys kill. You know?
Yeah, and the thing about Reed is that that's rock and roll music. You could put whatever label you want on it. Like, you can't say, "Oh, that's country music." You know what I mean? Like, you can't set them in one camp, which is that's the cool thing about it.
You know, yeah. I mean, he could be all of those things. You know, he can be the mixture, but you know, they're going more rock and roll, and it's cool to see. And I love the music. I love what they're like stuff they have coming, but yeah, you can't really box them in one thing.
Right. Like, For the Birds was excellent. That was like, I didn't know what to expect because there wasn't, like, when was the last album before that one? Was that the live one?
Yeah, the live one.
Yeah.
So I think before that, it had been like 3 or 4 years since they like had put a new, like a new all fresh music.
Yeah. And like you guys were dropping the singles and everything to it, but like, I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Because it's been such a, like, kind of a not long, but like that period of time. So, and a lot of bands can change over that. But yeah, that was so many. First off, the guitar work on that was brilliant. Like,
oh man,
because didn't you guys add John like between that period or?
Yeah. So John had taken a break, and we had Ryan, and I don't know how long that went, but then John ended up coming back, which was badass because we got to have both of them, which is like the best of both worlds. You know, you couldn't ask for a better duo, really.
Yeah.
For them to come back and like collab on it and finish it out, and it was cool.
What's your favorite track on that one?
I love to say "Time to Kill" just right off. It just comes right off the tongue. First to come to mind, just because it's like their heaviest song. I feel like that they've had. Also, "Don't Let Them Get You Down," which is another super heavy one. But "Time to Kill," I love that song. Dave definitely would be like, "Oh, that's not our favorite song," but
well, I mean, yeah, those are excellent songs. The one that really grabbed me was Rose Gold. I remember when that single dropped, I'm like, holy shit, this is like a whole new level.
Yeah. That was the thing about the singles is that you didn't really know, like you said, you didn't know what to expect because it was each different thing, it didn't all kind of just, it went together, but when you have it mixed up like that, you don't know what else is in there. So it's like, oh, we don't know what we're getting really.
Yeah. And you really got like a mixture of like everything because you had that country western song in there. There We Are Where We Went, which was amazing. Like it just shows like the talent because like if you could pull that off, it's like it's nuts.
I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they didn't just like take it off. I love it.
Yeah, it was great. And like because when was the first single off that one, "Where We Belong," I believe. I think it was.
Yeah, it was actually "Sticking and Moving."
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Yep.
But there was like some time stretched before the next song, which was "Where We Belong."
Yeah.
And that was like December of I can't remember exactly.
I know.
But
2020, I think, but
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because "Sticking and Moving," like that still sounded like kind of like the older Reed stuff. It had that hint of like more bluesy kind of stuff, which is great. But when Where We Belong came out, that was like completely different, I thought.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that one kind of just, I don't know. It's just so different for them, but also is totally them and like what they would make. But it was their first time like putting it out or putting it all together,
So are you there for that like creative process ever? Like, is that pretty nuts?
I'm there for some of it, more of like studio time stuff, but they kind of get together and, they lock themselves in and, they go in and nobody mess with us. We're working right now. Come back out with bangers.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's good. They have a good process of like getting away and like just putting their minds together,
Yeah.
Like let's all sit here and let's actually do it,
Right. But yeah, "Where We Belong," that sounded like a weird mix between like Coldplay and like Kings of Leon or something. Like,
Yeah. A lot of Kings of Leon in there. Yeah, it's just like all their inspirations.
hmm
You know, it's you can hear it in the record. You know, you can hear it's them making their music that they want to make. You know,
Right.
and that's why I think it's my favorite. Just because that's what they did. You know, like they changed it up. You know, they didn't just put out what you would expect
hmm
or what people would have expected. They reached out and they killed it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the other two people I've had on here, I've had the same conversation with about this, but it's crazy to see like the progress that y'all's scene is going through. You could call it Texas country all you want, but fact is, it's just Texas music because you can't. It's just progressed and just it sounds so different. It's like a tree, kind of like snaking off in different ways.
Yeah, totally. It's not even the same as when I came around and it was Texas country scene or considered that in a way. But even in just like the 5 years, not even before that, it had already like changed into something else.
Yeah,
Everybody's just doing what they want to make, and that's the coolest thing. It doesn't have to be labeled one thing. Like you can all, you know, you can do what you want.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your work and everything. We kind of got off topic, but that's okay.
No, you're good.
So when it comes to like the photography aspect, do you also do the videos and stuff like that? Or
Every now and then I'm recording, but we also have, you know, a video guy. So when we're doing stuff and he's out, you know, he handles more of that and I get to just focus on one thing. But I mean, I'm always recording stuff and, you know, helping piece things together. But yeah, I've done a couple solo videos. There's a couple solo ones out there that have been posted that I kind of did, but usually it's David and like a mixed team operation.
okay, right on.
Yeah,
Dude, how is Red Rocks? Because that looked
insane. It was mind blowing. I felt like nobody even thought that we did that.
right.
For like the next couple days, it was just like everybody's just like in a shock.
Yeah,
Like, did we actually do that? Like, were we even there?
right.
Insane. Just going to the place and like seeing it way hours before, you're just like standing out there in this giant place, just in the most perfect spot that you could have picked. And the city's in the background. You go to the very top. Also, let's talk about how steep these stairs are.
Yeah,
Oh my God. There's people out there that just like go just to work out. Like, because it's open to the public for I don't know how long.
really.
A couple hours. The place is kind of just open. You can go. They have like some shops and stuff. You can check out the place because it's like a historical, whatever, like a historical location.
Okay.
So you can go and just kind of hang out, and that's what people are doing. Like in the morning time, people are just like on those giant stairs, which are like not your average stairs, just like 3 foot, you know, like one step. So like when you're on those aisles, you see all those people. They actually have a lot of room there to like stand. They're not so jammed as it seems. You know, there's a lot of room. But there was this guy that was just like dead. I'm walking up the top, and like I get to the top, and I'm like, dude, like that was a journey getting up here. And there's like this other guy that's just dead sprinting up from the very bottom, just sprinting, catching every step, going all the way to the top. Didn't stop, didn't like even hesitate. And I'm like, dude, this guy is crazy.
Yeah, because those things are like super steep, right?
Yeah, it's pretty steep. Like they even have a separate like staircase, which is like an easier staircase to go up to get to the top. It's just like your average staircase. But those steps it's just like long strides all the way
Yeah,
up.
it looks it looks scary just to like sit on. Like I feel like you're just gonna fall forward.
Yeah.
So is that what are some venues like that were like one of those bucket list places to shoot at?
Trying to think. that was more of like a bucket list venue. I mean, obviously just what it is and like being that place. But trying to think of cool places that we've done. There's a lot that we've done that have been really cool that I didn't know about, you know, like the Nova in Norfolk.
Yeah.
Crazy venue. One of the coolest venues. It was like a elevator to the green rooms. They had like giant areas to hang out, a basketball court up there, and it's like, what? This is just existing in Virginia, like nobody even knows. I don't know. There's been a lot, man. It's like so much has happened so quickly that it's just like too much to take in sometimes.
Is it overwhelming, or is it like?
It's definitely overwhelming, I would say.
How do you? Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
It was like, how do you like manage that? Because like, is both like creative director and you're on the road with these guys and you're still trying to find some time to relax. Like you always hear about how hard it is for the band members themselves, but you're along for the ride with them. So how do you manage that time? Like, is it hard?
Man, it is hard. It is hard. It's hard to like mix in your like time that isn't dealing with this, you know? You know, to get away. That's like the best thing. Just get away and do you for a little bit, which is nice. I come back home and I'm here and I can kind of just like decompress from like being on the road and like start editing. I'm in my space. I'm away from everybody. It's good to get away and like just take time when you can. So like that's why I'm not just like eager to go out on the road on weekends, you know, like if I have the time off, even if I am here working, you know, like editing or whatever, I'm still just here in my space, you know, doing my own thing. And it just takes away from like constantly being on the go.
Yeah. So what do you do then in that spare time you get to like be home? Is there anything you like to do in particular?
I mean, when I'm here, I still find myself at shows, which is weird. Like, here I am talking about, I take time, but I'll go to like a Turnstile show or like if somebody's playing around, you know, somebody cool that I can check out. It's cool to go and just not have to do it, you know, just take in the show, you know, don't have to worry about taking photos or what we're going to do for the show or whatever. Just go and enjoy music. Just naturally, like everybody else.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're so used to working, so it must be awesome to be able to just take it all in and watch a show.
Yeah, and it's not always a RSB show. You know? Like I see RSB shows every week. Probably seen the most RSB shows of anybody.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, it's cool to like just get out and see other stuff. Get some inspiration. That's where I get a lot of inspiration from other people, other bands, other just mixes of photography, like fashion and whatever. Just diving into other stuff to get your mind working on other things comes back to help you in what you're doing. Because you'll go experience this and you'll take something from that and be like, I can apply this here, or this will work with this like idea that we have. Or I should shoot a show like this more, you know, you find something cool that you learned in another little alley of photography and then apply, you know, mix it all together.
Yeah. So you're talking about, you do like fashion shoots and everything. Are you interested in like maybe doing a side project or anything like besides the concert stuff?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about other projects that I'm going to do or that I would like to do. I have stuff that I'd like to do. It's just like, when can I do it, you know, or when am I going to actually do it? Because I could find the time, but I don't know. There's just, it'll come around to it, you know, like there will be a moment where it's all ready to go.
Yeah.
And we can really do it how I would like to and not just rush into something. And it not be what I wanted.
Right. So when you're working, and this is the most fascinating thing about photographers for me, is when do you know when like is there a perfect shot that you're looking for throughout the night? It's like, oh, there it is. Or like is there something you look for, like a moment?
Um, there's moments, but there's also those moments, like you said, it's like you took it and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
there it is, you know? I think you're looking for it, but it kind of just like, it finds you, you know, like the moment aligns where you're in the perfect spot and he's, you know, Reed's in the perfect spot or Ryan's like doing something really cool solo and the lights are perfect. You're prepared. Like you shot it and you were like, oh, that's the one. Like that definitely happens like throughout the night. Like there will be those 5 that I'll like keep in my mind. Like I'll remember when I took that. So I go back and I'm like, oh,
That's crazy.
these were the ones, you know?
So like even before the editing, all that, you're just like, you know which one it is.
Yeah. I mean, you'll know just because I don't know if you've done it long enough, you know, you find those ones, but also just you creatively, like what stood out to you the most or the coolest shot that you thought would be, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, you definitely know. But I go in with kind of a process, you know, I've shot so many shows that I know, you know, different things are going to happen at different times. That, you know, there will be a moment where Ryan might turn this way. I know he's going to turn this way. And if everything's right, here I am, you know, that's a moment that I can always like bet on. But then there's those other moments, there's those other random ones that you're not prepared for where it's like, oh, I was just lucky that I was here, you know, lucky to be standing where I was and got the photo because you definitely miss stuff. You know, you can't be everywhere.
Yeah. So let's close out on this. Do you have any advice? Because I personally know a lot of photographers, so I can't imagine how many are out there. So like, could you give any like a few things that you could say to these guys to like boost their confidence or anything like tips on getting in on this realm of photography and like creativity, like with the music scene?
Yeah, I think you just have to go for it. You know, you can't, the more you wait, thinking that you're not going to get a chance or that, oh, I could never, you know, I could never do this. Like they're doing this. I could never, you totally could do this. Like go, you totally could do it. Somebody's going to notice you if you're putting in the work, you know, like you're putting in the work and even if you aren't like ready, like I wasn't ready. I had to learn while I was doing it and eventually got to a point where I was like, oh, you know, like I think I'm a lot better than I was. So don't just think that, oh, I don't have the right camera. You don't really need that. It doesn't come down to that. You know, learn on I had a Canon T3i or something, T5i or something like that, and shot with that for a couple years, you know, beginner stuff. And it'll come to you. Don't just like give up thinking that you can't do it, you know, because I feel like that's what a lot of people run into.
So what do you shoot with now? I know nothing about cameras, but I'm sure once this comes out, a lot of your photographer buddies will listen to it, hopefully. So like, what do you shoot with now?
Sony A7 III. Yeah. I feel like it's pretty popular amongst the other photographers in the scene. A lot of people are going Sony, whether they have mine or other ones, you know, other newer ones or, you know, even older Sonys. It's just kind of the camera for what we do, but they're also like great. Like they're not just a good product for concerts. It's a great product all around in photography right now. So, yeah.
Right on. So I guess if you have any plugs you want to throw out there, any of your socials or websites, go ahead.
Scuba Shots on Instagram. It's like the main place to find my stuff. That's where I go to first for everything. I'm on Twitter, Scoob, spelled weird. I'm still trying to get Scoob. The Scooby-Doo Have we talked about
No,
this?
go ahead. What was it?
I'm trying to get the @Scoob, but I can't get it because Scooby Doo movie.
Oh yeah.
Like has it. It's like an animated movie that came out a couple years ago, and I don't even think I've ever seen it, or has anybody seen it? I want to know because I'm trying to get the if you can help me out in any way. Like maybe this will get it for me.
It's hilarious that you say that because now I know what you're talking about. Because preparing for this, I was typing in your stuff. I don't know if it was on Instagram or Twitter or what, and all I could find was Scoob with like an exclamation mark. I think that's what the movie is.
yeah, that's the movie. They have the and it's just like a movie that's done now. You know, they can't really do anything else with it.
They come out with a sequel.
Just let me it's have
Scooby-Doo.
You know?
What else could they do with Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, there's no more, man. But yeah, Scuba Shots on Instagram is the main place to find all my stuff. Read Southall Band. It's where a lot of my content goes. A lot of stuff that I don't post on my stuff goes on there. So if you want to see more stuff that I'm doing, that's like another great spot to see it. But yeah.
All right, man. Well, this has been fun. I hope you had fun.
This was fun. Yeah, this was cool. I'm glad you're doing this, man.
Just trying to support you guys.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that you're doing it. I'm glad you like made the jump because, like I said, we were talking about it, but I didn't know when you were going to do it.
It was a process to get together, but we finally figured it out. We're rolling. This is actually we're doing 3. You're the third one. We did Aaron and Ricky, and then we did Austin Upchurch, and we wanted to get 3 in before we start posting them. So after this, we should start seeing it start to come out, and then.
Do I go before Ricky and Aaron?
No, probably. I was thinking just going in this order, but you guys could duke it out.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We need to have us all 3 with the Smoking Chimney Bros.
Oh, are you a part of that too?
Did they tell you about that? Are you
inducted?
Oh, I'm inducted. I'm the only other one inducted.
They failed to mention that.
They failed to mention?
Yeah. Maybe
we'll have to
get 3 of you on.
Maybe they kick me out.
Yeah, maybe there's some beefing going on, man. But we'll have to have 3 of you on every week for a little Smoking Chimney update. I think that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But
I'd be down for that.
But so I'm gonna sign off here. Just stick around. We're gonna have this all upload and everything. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. So
okay, cool.
Everybody, this was Scoob. He gave you your plugs. Follow him wherever you can. This is Rowdy Alternative. My name's Sam, and I'll see you guys later.